Coming to you from the great state of Wisconsin, this is a CS27 Studios production. You're listening to the Binary Brothers Podcast featuring Ryan and Clay. It's time now to open your ears and prepare your mind because life's too short to be constrained in black and white. So without further ado, here are your hosts, Ryan and Clay.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Binary Brothers Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Clay, and with me, as always, is Ryan.
Hey, I'm Ryan. I'm the other host.
And today is our 19th episode, just one away from a big number.
The big 2-0.
Yeah, just one away. We're inching closer to it. It's been a while since our last one.
It has been a while.
We're definitely inching.
Yeah, inching is the proper term. It's been a while. We know you've missed us.
Yeah, and it's completely our fault.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But I do want to point out that it's not entirely our fault.
No.
I believe there was a laptop. There was a laptop is one of those things.
A laptop is one of those things. Yeah, I was not ready to do any recording of this show at all for a little while there.
Yeah. Technology sucks.
Back up and running.
And now technology is awesome.
It sucks and it's awesome at the same time.
Yep.
And you just leave Elon Musk alone.
I mean, kind of. But he needs to. Sometimes he just needs to get, checked a little bit.
Sometimes he needs to chill.
Yeah, just a tad bit. He goes getting a little bit arrogant sometimes and needs to take a chill pill.
If you don't know why I said that, it's because Kanye West went to a small arts college or institute place today.
Did he?
And he literally got up onto a table and said, "Leave that man the F alone."
Really?
Yeah, he went on a rant about how we need to leave Elon Musk alone and he doesn't care who was over at his house and blah blah blah. And I just thought that was hilarious. When I read that article title, I said, "No, that did not happen." But there's actual video of people. They're just "Yep, Kanye, sure enough."
I don't really keep up with all the Yeezy news.
Yeah.
And
well, he's been in it again.
Oh, he's but every time I hear him say something, it's the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah, and we've become accustomed to that at this point.
What do you mean by we?
Yeah.
The Wheezy Yeezys?
Yeezys have all been taking it easy with all the Yeezyisms.
Yeah, that guy is he just sounds insane.
Yeah, I think he might actually be these days. There was a time when it's all leave Kanye West alone because he's kind of just a genius and he's eccentric. But at this point, it's a little bit of what is going on now.
I mean, I have sympathy for him because I can't imagine you not going insane when you have to spend as much time as he has around the Kardashian family.
All of them.
Literally all of them.
Not just one. All of the Kardashians. He's got to. But he did choose that life.
Maybe.
Oh.
I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes when a man and a woman really love each other.
When a man loves a woman.
Beautiful things can happen. But sometimes when a man and a woman don't necessarily love each other, but, things get crazy. And then, kind of some weird things happen. Beautiful weird things. But, sometimes it's not necessarily what you wanted, but you gotta just suck it up and you gotta deal with it. Right?
Even if it involves the Kardashians?
Look, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, so I can't really speak from experience.
And you know what? I've never been around a Kardashian. Who knows? They could be completely normal and tolerable people in person.
I highly doubt that.
Oh, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying they could be. Anything is possible.
I guess.
Angels in the outfield, kid.
Right. Waving his arms up and down. Speaking of angels in the outfield, that's basically what this show is about today.
It is. Nice segue.
I know, right? It's been a while.
Sports. We haven't lost our touch, though.
It's been a while. I figured I might be rusty, but I don't think I am. I think I'm on the ball.
Yeah, no. Rusty's in Madison. We're on the ball.
Right.
This is great. Yeah,
For
Sportsball Fandom.
Mm-hmm.
We love sports, right? People like sports.
It's a big part of our culture.
It is. It's a huge part of our culture.
Not even American culture, just like the world, like human culture.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like throughout human history. It's been just an integral part.
Yeah, people always want to see the red team beat the blue team.
Right. Well, some people want the blue team to beat the red team, but those people we don't associate with those people.
Those people are wrong, and they should feel bad. Yes.
Right. But it's a lot less. How do I put it? A lot less lethal nowadays, I think would be the term for sports. There are more rules.
There are a lot more rules.
A lot more rules.
For the sake of safety.
Right.
Right? And time.
Definitely time.
Definitely time.
And I think also money.
Also definitely money, because that's a
mostly
huge
money.
part of it. Yeah, because if we've learned anything from previous episodes, monopolies, and
nobody can play that game.
Nobody
likes playing Monopoly.
But
just throwing that out there.
But you know what game is good that I recently played?
Right.
A buddy from my team came over. It's called Monopoly Deal.
It sounds fake.
And it's not fake. It's the real deal.
Like Monopoly Deal?
Exactly like that. You've heard of it. So it's like a Monopoly card game instead of being the board game, and the idea is to be able to have 3 full sets of properties, and once you get 3 full sets of properties, you win. And cards are worth money, and you can still like build hotels, and you get like an action card where you say, you owe me rent for every property that you own that is a color on that card or whatever. So it's a whole thing. It goes a lot faster. We played.
Well, couldn't really go any slower. So
yeah, that's the main appeal. It's way simpler and it's much faster. We went through 3 games the other night.
You certainly couldn't do that in regular Monopoly.
Oh God, no. The only time I think I've actually played through a full game of Monopoly, it took hours. We played for what felt like forever. And we cheated.
Well, right. I feel like Monopoly, and this actually could be true, I feel like Monopoly was designed in a way to make you hate monopolies. You know? Because you're going around the board, and of course, like every other stop, you basically got to pay someone for owning that, you know.
Yeah. And if you end up paying,
then you got to go to jail if you don't, you know.
Oh God, yeah, the jail. It's too real, you know.
It's too real.
It's too real, and that's the good thing about Monopoly Deal. There's no jail.
Oh, that's nice.
At worst, everything is taken from you.
Well, that just sounds lovely.
Right? Like that's a great alternative to jail. But yeah, I don't know. It was a fun game. I would definitely recommend it for anyone who it's like Monopoly light. It's Monopoly but more fun.
Well, that just sounds like a good deal.
I see what you did there.
Yep. I told you I'm on the ball today.
Yeah.
I'm ready to rock.
If you're ready to rock, then
we shouldn't.
Let's get the people. Let's get the people ready to rock.
Yeah, we need to get everybody else ready to rock. We can't just dive in.
No.
Because we started to, but that could have been dangerous. We got back up here.
We got to hold our horses a little bit. Calm it down there, Sammy boy.
Yeah.
Take a step back. Speaking of rock, What?
I want to rock.
What have you been listening to recently? What's your jam?
I'll tell you what. I believe since the last episode, the new Metric album came out. Been listening to that. It's been quite a quality album. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it quite a bit.
Adding to library right now.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Oh, I'm down.
So it's kind of been my jam.
Is it solid throughout?
I've been able to listen through and through a couple times. No problem. There hasn't really been any songs where I'm like, I gotta just skip this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought through and through it's been a solid album.
Well, I'm excited to listen to that now. I did not realize that was a thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm here for.
No.
And that's why we have this segment.
That's why we have this segment. Because otherwise, people might not know.
Yeah, and what's worse than people not knowing?
Yeah, being an informed music consumer is important, as is being informed in many other ways.
Right.
Know what you're getting into. I had earlier, multiple times this week, and this is impressive because we're not that far into the week.
But we're halfway through.
But all right.
We're literally halfway through.
We're exactly halfway through. So, I've been walking past a room and had someone go, "Right, Ryan?" No, I'm not agreeing to anything that I haven't heard. I'm just nope. I can't do it.
That's smart. It's smart. Yes.
And the only time that's really going to get me is if the person who said, "Right, Ryan," immediately before that said, "If Ryan says that's right to this next thing, I'll give him $1 million." Then I've played myself.
Yeah, but that's the risk you gotta take, right?
Yeah, and most of the people I hang out with and are around don't really have $1 million to just chuck my way. So
that's true.
I feel like I'm pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna, doing that, saying no in situations like that can really, hurt people's feelings, and they might be kind of mad at you for a little bit. But you gotta just realize you can't make everyone happy. You gotta look out for yourself first and foremost.
You really can.
You gotta do you. You do you.
You do you, boo boo.
You do you.
You gonna do me like this?
You gonna do me like this?
You gonna rob me in my guest bathroom?
It's another thing that happened since our last episode.
Yeah, that's another thing that we ended up doing. Clay and I went to go see Kevin Hart.
I hope we're not spoiling his jokes. I mean, obviously,
No.
We're definitely not doing it as well as him.
No, definitely not as well. Definitely can't wait to see it again it comes out. Once it comes out, recorded on Netflix and anything else.
Well, he'll probably make some tweaks too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he put on a good show, as is tradition.
And there were people that were kicked out in front of us. That was awesome.
Oh yes. If you ever go to a serious, maybe they're recording it, comedy show.
Well, or a tour that they're gonna be doing a special later on using those same jokes.
Yeah, they are super. We went into the new Fiserv Forum. Terrible name.
The new Bucks Arena.
We went to the new Bucks Arena, and just immediately all of the screens everywhere,
literally everywhere.
Just nope, no cell phones, and you had people on every level being like, "Hey, by the way, remember, no cell phones."
They even handed out pamphlets.
Before we got into our section, they're like, "Hey, here's a pamphlet. It says
here's it
no
written
cell
down
phones."
for you.
Yeah, and then of course, this woman in front of us decides, I'm not only going to be super loud during the show. One, shut up.
Right.
Two, she tries to sneak her phone. She's got one of those little wallet clutch phone cases, and she tries to pretend with her screen on full ass brightness.
Right.
It's
dark in there,
It's blinding from the row behind her.
Right.
And she just thinks she's sneaky. She's like, I'm getting away with this. No, you're not, because she got tapped, and her and her friend had a GTFO.
That's somebody who's not informed about ambient light.
Exactly.
You got to be informed, people.
Ugh.
Otherwise, your life's gonna go downhill.
Well, there's something I can inform the people about right now.
What is that?
That's what I've been listening to, and it's something that I've been excited for a while. It's been something that's been anticipated for a long time. An album that people thought was never actually going to happen.
Oh boy, I'm excited now. You've really talked this up. You better not let me down.
Well, I might let you down. You might not. You might not care about this, but anyone.
I think I know what album you're talking about.
The Carter 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Carter 5.
The Wheezy.
Louisiana. It was a long road, right? It's been since.
I don't know the story behind it.
I
just know it was a very anticipated thing.
So anticipated because 2014. Originally, he was supposed to. It's like, hey, the Carter 5's coming out, and I think the original release date was 2015, maybe.
Okay.
And he just was stuck in, like, him and Birdman were like not getting along anymore, and it was all contracts, and I want out of this, and it's
money.
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 What do you expect from Cash Money Records? You think they're gonna just let Cash Money fly out the window?
You look at that name and you think, do you guys really care about the money?
Am I surprised?
What could their priorities really be?
Right. And even their sub-labels, Young Money.
Young Money.
It's still even about the money.
And Old Money.
We got Young Money, Old Money, White Money, Black Money. We got all the money. But it was just the whole thing. Like it was just rap. It was just caught up in all this drama and red tape and whatever else, and it took just forever for it to get cleared and eventually come out. But it's finally out. And I remember back in Lil Wayne's like mixtape days when he was just pumping out mixtapes and he was just featured on all of the songs. All the time.
Right.
I love that Lil Wayne, and I love like the Carter 2 and just all that. Fantastic. And then like he went every artist. The guy started rapping, he started his career at like 12, 13. Like stupid young. So it's not surprising that he went through like a super weird music phase for a while.
That's why there's child, labor laws.
Right.
For that exact reason. I'm pretty sure if you look up the law, like Article 5, Section 4 is like Lil Wayne.
It's just
like,
exactly Lil Wayne.
Example number 1, Exhibit A.
Just remember this happened.
Look at what he had to go through.
But yeah, it came out, and to be honest, I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. It's 23 tracks. It's an hour and a half.
That is a lot of tracks.
It's a lot of tracks, and I'm going to assume he's done some tweaking. Obviously, like when the Carter 5 was originally supposed to come out, XXX Temptation. I just like mess up his name every time.
Yeah, I never heard of him until he passed.
Until he died. Yeah.
I was like, who is this guy?
He clearly wasn't like in the game or popular or anything at that point, but he's the first person on the album other than Wayne's mom.
Oh. Yeah, I can see the whole tribute thing happening.
Yeah.
With that. Yeah, I think I don't want to go kind of away from the Carter 5 here, but when just seeing the reactions from people after X-Temptation. Somebody spelled it out for me, and it made perfect sense how it was pronounced. I've completely forgot since then.
I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced extend.
Yeah, it's like extension, I think, I don't know, but we know what we're talking about.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows who we're talking about.
Everybody.
And all I'm seeing is now I've never heard of, or I never heard of the guy before, his passing. And obviously I'm not like the hugest, guy into, the hip hop world. But like I saw like people everywhere, and it could have just been shock too, but like people everyone like just calling him a legend and stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like let's calm it down here. Yes, it's tragic and sad that this kid died. I don't know how old he was, but he was
20.
young. Yeah, he's essentially a kid. I mean, yeah. He's an adult, but it's like you're young. It's like you're a kid.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, but yeah, like come on. Like, it's not like he's no Jay-Z, he's no Tupac, he's no Eminem, he's no like big time.
It's too early in anyone's career to say that someone was like a legend. I mean, he was talented for sure.
Yeah, like I get that he had talent and stuff, but you gotta have the career stats to back it up. You know what I'm saying?
But even still then, right? For people that were fans, much like we're going to get into later, like for people that are fans, it's a big deal to them, no matter.
Oh,
what.
for sure. I get it. I get that. And that's what I mean. Like it could have been just like a shock thing or whatever that people. And I don't want to downplay his meaning to people, but you're looking kind of like, I don't know. That was something that just kind of irked me a little bit, I think.
Yeah. It's like everyone throws around the term GOAT all the time.
Yeah, now. Right? Yeah.
For like everything. It's like, oh yeah, this person's the GOAT.
Yeah, right.
Like no.
Or generational talent is another one.
Yeah.
That's thrown around. Oh my god. Yeah, like I don't want to like, I'm not trying to piss on the guy or anything or his fans.
At this point, it's not even about him. It's about we've moved on to talking about just people's saying of things.
It's just like it's just annoying. Like, come on. Like, honestly, like if there is a legend of if a hip hop legend dies, I'm gonna know who that is. Like a casual hip hop fan, like someone who doesn't listen to it all that much, but I would be able to recognize that person. The fact that I didn't even know about this guy. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Like you mentioned the perfect people, like Jay-Z. Jay-Z dies. Even your casual hip hop fan, like you said, will know. Like
my parents will know who he is. Like, I don't know if they've ever listened to hip hop in their life. But he'll probably know. He's like, oh yeah, I've heard of Jay-Z.
Oh, that Jay-Z fella?
Yeah. Oh, he was married to Beyonce, right?
Married to that Beyonce.
Oh yeah, for sure. Destiny's Child.
One of my favorite like Jay-Z songs is with Lil Wayne, because their last names are both Carter. So
Jay-Z had like some didn't he have like a Carter album or something?
I don't think so. Pretty sure not, but I know he was featured on the song called Mr. Carter with Lil Wayne. While you're looking at, I gotta turn the air conditioning on. It's hot. I'm hot right now.
Look, it was a hot October day today.
It's weird. I want it to go back to being fall.
I mean, it's going to. You're gonna get your wish.
It needs to. It needs to, like, right now. right this second.
Like literally right now. He never had a Carter album. For some reason I thought he did, but I'm not the biggest,
You're a
most knowledgeable fan, I'm not a super fan.
Not a super fan.
I'm no Superman.
You do too much. You're not Superman, All right. Music covered.
Boom. Done. Next.
We did it. Moving on. What you excited for, my friend?
I am excited for having this Friday off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going.
Is there an occasion?
Yeah, this weekend I'm going up to my old stomping grounds. Not my original stomping grounds, but my old. Going up north. And
Up north.
Yeah, up north area. Gonna play in a little hockey tournament, and then I'm gonna go play at Black Wolf Run, play some golf there.
Yeah.
Which is for those casual golf fans out there. If you know of Whistling Straits, which has hosted some big PGA Tour events on Lake Michigan in Wisconsin, it's a sister course to that. It's a very, very nice course. Black Wolf Run is. So I will be playing that for the first time, and I'm probably gonna get my butt kicked by it.
Nice.
I'm gonna bring about 1,000 golf balls, because that's probably how many I'm gonna lose. I'm just gonna hit putter every single time. It's all right. I'm putting for 100. It's okay. It's
right.
It's 100 plus bogey.
All right, guy.
It's okay. I got it. So no, but it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome.
Get to see some old friends again.
Always good to throw it back, like to see old friends. I hung out with Wyatt and Amanda
Oh yeah.
last weekend, so that was nice. Wyatt and Amanda and their fairly new daughter.
Oh yeah, they had a daughter, didn't they? Or had
Yeah,
a kid.
they did.
I probably didn't know that he had a daughter, but
Yeah, it's a lady kid.
a lady kid. Okay.
Yeah, so had that. Took her nephew. We went to a pumpkin farm, or like pumpkin farm. I guess pumpkin farm, apple orchard. I feel like everyone gets the idea.
Tis
like,
the
no matter
season.
what they are.
Yeah.
Tis the season for sure. So yeah, that was cool. Always good to see someone you don't see.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of the last time I saw them.
I mean, was it my wedding?
Was it?
I don't know.
I feel like I saw them like more recent than that.
Could have been.
But I don't know where it could have been.
Well,
I could be completely wrong.
you could be entirely wrong. I
could be so wrong.
You could never have met them ever in your life.
No, that's not true.
That's too far.
Yeah, you there was a line, and
Okay.
you certainly tiptoed over it.
I couldn't see it, in my defense.
Well, it's one of those, it's like the yellow line in NFL broadcasts. The first down, you can't see it in real
Doesn't
life,
exist.
but it's there.
It's not real.
It's there for everyone else to see.
Yeah, it's for our convenience as the viewer.
Yes. So, what are you excited about?
Oh man, I don't have too much on the horizon, really. Like I've just got like a couple concerts coming up, like over the next few weeks.
Really. I mean, those are ones to be excited about, though.
That's what I'm excited about, though. Like Churches.
Yeah.
Gonna go see Churches tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're great. I've talked about Churches before.
Yeah, we've talked about them.
Yeah, we talked about them. So they're cool. I'm pretty sure we talked on this show about getting tickets.
Yeah.
And we did it, guys.
And we did it.
We're actually real life friends.
Yeah.
This isn't all just a show.
I mean, it kind of is.
It is.
But it isn't.
It is a show, but it's deeper than the show.
Yeah. There's more to it. You don't even know.
You have no idea. Churches tomorrow, and then Metallica.
Oh, yeah, you're going to see them. Forgot about that.
In the new Bucks Arena, not the Fiserv Forum.
Right. I wonder if there'll be no cell phone signs there for that. Probably not.
You know what? I would be fine. I would be fine if there were.
I hate when I just see a bunch of people.
Yeah, like so I didn't really go to concerts all that much, but the first year I went to Lollapalooza, I just felt like I was recording a lot of stuff and taking a lot of pictures. And
you never look at it again.
Yeah, I never really look at it again. And now with like Google Photos, it's nice because like it like automatically makes an album. It like suggests an album for me. Yeah. And I can just be like, cool, save that album, and that's cool. But I don't really look at it very much other than in like the next couple weeks afterwards to show people who like say, oh, well, how was it, and all that stuff. Yeah. And I forgot who it was at some point. I don't know if it was some band that was playing it. They were just like, live in the moment, like be at this concert and don't worry about taking a picture and a video and doing all this stuff. And I realized, I was like, you're right. Yeah. Like how often am I going to go back and look at that? And if it's memorable, I will remember it. And like, I mean, eventually you get old, or maybe you play football and you get hit in the head a few times and you forget some things. But, well, yeah, like I'm just going to remember. So it's like, yeah, I'd be perfectly fine. Because there's been times where at a concert, and if you're in a crowd in a concert, people holding up their arms.
Oh my God.
And like recording stuff. It's like, I've actually caught myself watching a concert on someone's screen in front of me instead of watching the actual concert, because like I wasn't at like a great vantage point, to be honest.
And
but
they have it all blocked with their arms.
And yeah, it's just one of those weird things where for some reason I'm just drawn to this damn screen in front of me. Yeah. But yeah, so I would be fine. But yeah, a couple concerts coming up. I'm excited for those. Other than that, like I don't have too much of anything going on.
That's fine.
At least before the next time we record.
Yeah. For sure. Well, right. You know, it's funny. I was actually looking at another friend's Instagram story the other day, and he was at the Justin Timberlake concert up in Minneapolis.
Nice.
And of course, you know, watching the Instagram stories, obviously recording the performance.
Right.
So, but I'm I'm watching this, and all I can see is just like the hundreds of other cell phones, like being raised up in front of him. Like, yeah. Like, and he's like he's kind of near. I mean, he's near the stage, or he's like, on the floor, in those where the mosh pits are. There's obviously not mosh pits on.
No,
Justin Timberlake.
There's Justin Timberlake.
Are they?
They get nuts.
Are they really?
And they're just like, oh, I'm bringing sexy back. And they're just throwing elbows. And someone else is like, no, I'm bringing sexy back. And then they're just knees and uppercuts. You don't even understand.
I don't.
Justin Timberlake mosh pit gets, because that happens.
Okay. I stand corrected. But still, the amount of cell phones that were up, I was like, geez, if there was a mosh pit, those cell phones are getting thrown.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is dangerous with those cell phones. But, yeah, just like, obviously, I'm watching him record the, Justin Timberlake dancing.
Yeah.
But, and all I'm thinking is like, God, this would be a much better, story or Instagram video if all these other phones, except the one I'm watching on, we're not taking videos.
If everyone else could just not, so that my friend could,
right?
That would be great.
We'll give you guys all the links. We'll upload it, send it to you guys. But please, just put your phones away.
Everyone gets together before the concert and decide
who's gonna.
Here's the person.
Yeah. Do rock paper scissors.
They're gonna do it.
But. All right, so I think we're warmed up.
I would say so.
I mean, I've been warmed up. I've been ready to go since the beginning.
Oh, yeah, we almost got into it right away.
Yeah, but now I think everybody else is kind of at my level, and we can get to it.
I'm definitely there.
Yeah.
I'm there. So let's talk about it.
Sportsball Fandom. Here's the thing. I have some people who I work with, some friends who use the term sports ball. That's kind of annoying. I get here's the thing. Like, I get like why they do it, because they don't, they're not into sports. That's fine. Like, not everybody has to be into sports. It's cool. But it's like almost like you go too far and you start using this term sports ball to kind of like separate yourself out and kind of like make fun of it.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really have to go that far. You can just say, yeah, sorry, I didn't catch the game. I'm not really into it, Like, here's the thing, so they're obviously into other things, like other activities that may feature like the best, best people at that activity, whether it be, say, like, video games or, chess or whatever it may
solving
be.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, right. Or,
super quickly. So impressed. Yeah,
like there's like whatever it is that you might be really into, like, professional artists or whatever. If you're really big into art and stuff, like, you're watching people create, like, professionals create ridiculous, things or really excel with their abilities. It's exactly the same fundamentally as sports. It's just a different set of rules.
Right. It's just it's more of a.
It's the same thing.
Like sports puts it into like you have to have like physical prowess, right? Or like
right. It's
typically
just
it's
athletics.
like you have to be able to physically,
yeah,
athletics, be able to do a thing, and and that doesn't take anything away from any other art form. Like, my wife paints.
Yeah.
And while she might not be like the best painter in the world, I'm just impressed.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
For some reason I look at the stuff she did, like, I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, I couldn't do that.
Right. Like I'm not gonna just sit over here and be like, oh, look at her and her art ball.
Oh,
yeah.
paintbrush lady.
Paintbrush ball. Whatever. That's cool. Like, it's cool. It's that, like, I don't understand the reason to really, like, just kind of go that far with it, I guess. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, it's just people. It's people.
They're looking for attention, is really what it is.
Well, yeah, it's that, or like people who. It's like anyone who rags on anything, right? Like, you kind of, when you do that, or sometimes when you do it, you're looking for someone to agree with you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like even the things that, like, we complain about on this show, it's because we have those things in common, and we're like, oh yeah, we think other people will like that. So I get it, but you're right. Like, none of us like need to say like sports ball. It's like, yeah, you can respect the fact that people can do these things, right?
Yeah.
That these people are at the top of their game.
Right. Whatever it may be, whatever activity it may be. If it's like, if you're watching bands perform in like a battle of the bands thing, if that's something you get really into, maybe not a lot of other people do, but you might be into it. I'm not going to like make fun of that. Like, that's cool.
Oh, sure.
Whatever, like, they're, like, trying to excel at the things they're good at in life, right? And it gives other people entertainment. That's really what it comes down to. Sports and any other, kind of activity like that is all about entertainment.
Yeah, and I think that's the huge thing that draws people to sports, right? And that's why sports is so big around the world.
Yeah. In
general, like, whatever sport, it's because people see these people that are doing things, again, at the top of their game. They're impressive people. Like, people are like freak athletes, and it's just, you could never do that personally, and it's super interesting to watch those people do that. And it's being a fan of a person who's doing that, or a team that's doing really well, is always nice, right? Like, even if you're a fan of the Cleveland Browns,
I was gonna
last
say
year,
they're actually doing all right this year, and by all right, like, they have one win or whatever. But
you're like the fan of a team who went defeated,
right?
And it's like, even those people, I respect people like that more than any like bandwagon fan, right? There's someone who sticks around with a team, but so that I respect that because you're sticking with it, but at the same time, you don't have the best people, right?
Right.
You're not doing well. Like there's two sides to that. Like I respect that like way to stick in there, but I'm also like, why aren't you a fan of people who are doing better?
Why aren't you a bandwagon fan?
Right?
But I mean, I don't really have a problem with bandwagon fans.
I don't either.
Like here's the thing, like whatever you get enjoyment out of, if that means, you know, rooting for a certain player, a certain team, you know, from year to year, do it. Whatever makes you happy, man.
Yeah, and that's again the thing. One of the things I love about sports is that you don't have to know everything about a sport. You don't have to know everything about a team. It's just one of the coolest things is just being a fan with someone else.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like being part of a group. You know, whether you've been a long time part of that group and you're sticking with it, or you just are like, oh, this team is really good, so I'm gonna go with this team.
Right, and so I think the issue with bandwagon fans that people have is the idea that the very true idea is that the longer you are support a thing, the more of a bond you have with it, right? And this pertains to not only sports but anything really. But the longer you're with it and supporting it, the bigger the bond you have. And so when say you are the Browns or whatever, and you have an absolutely terrible season like they did last year, and say 2 or 3 years from now they go on and win the Super Bowl, and you've been a fan all those years, right, through the very lows, like going through those lows and supporting them then makes like the highest of highs like so much higher.
Oh yeah. Even think about everyone who was a lifelong Cubs fan.
Right. Yeah. For their entire lives, like over 100 years. Some people never even saw it in their lifetime.
That's crazy. Like being like Packer fans, we've been fortunate enough to live through a couple Super Bowls that we've won.
Well, we have. I mean the 70s and 80s were absolutely atrocious to be a Packer fan during. But that was before our time.
And it's like we got to see that, and it's like my wife is a Bears fan, and
they won the Super Bowl probably. Well, yeah, they won the Super Bowl before she was born. Right, and so, and ironically, here's the thing, with why my wife can't be a Packers fan. Oh boy,
she's just not allowed, and it's because she was a Cubs fan. And the Cubs just, they never did it. Like we said, it had been forever. One eternity later, Catherine becomes a Brewers fan. And the Cubs,
I see where this is going,
win the World Series.
Yeah.
So she's not allowed to become a Packers fan because I just feel like, one, superstitiously, that might mean that the Bears might do something. And two, maybe that'll mean that the Packers will continue to struggle or struggle even more.
Well, they'll struggle once they get rid of, or not get rid of, but once Aaron Rodgers retires.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way they get a third straight Hall of Fame quarterback.
Oh, my God. How lucky have we been, right? Like, how...
That would be insane. If they did, though, so many people would hate the Packers. It would be great. It would be so great.
Have you seen these guys 3 in a row? Are you kidding me? And I hope it happens.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. I would want nothing more. But I guess to kind of go back and kind of take it to the other extreme, you have some people, who are really like turned off by sports, or use the term sports ball or whatever, and try to really kind of project that. But then there's the other group that are just like, sports are everything in their lives, like to an insane amount that it like affects their lives, and that's insane to me.
That like, it would like impact people's lives like at a deep level. Yeah,
like, I mean, I'm a pretty big like Blackhawks fan, and I do recap videos on the YouTube and everything, and but like them losing doesn't really affect my day. Yeah. Right? Like I'm not like it's a sport. It's just sports ball. It's a game, right? Like there's nothing I could do about it. I just enjoy seeing them win and do well, but
if they don't,
well, oh well. It sucks, but I'll get over it like pretty quickly.
Yeah, like I there's very few times that I've watched a game of any sport and been like deeply impacted by it. For I'll get frustrated.
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
And I'll think to myself, but I really don't think I take it much further past the end of the game. A lot of the time, I'll watch a game, and depending on the time of the game, I'll flip over to just some other random game, and I'll start watching it, and I'll be like, yeah, maybe at work on Monday I'll talk to someone and be like, yeah, this sucked, and bad, but again, at the end of the day, there's just people playing for our entertainment, and because they love it, and they've been lucky enough to be able to be talented and healthy, and they've worked hard enough to be able to get to a point where they play on Sundays, or they play on whatever their big stage is, right?
Right. It's like they're the ones that put in the hard work.
Yeah. Like if anyone's day should be ruined by the Packers losing, it should be someone on the Packers roster.
Right. Right. Like I was, I'm trying to think of games that like got me like that affected me the most, I would say. Like maybe for the rest of that night or something. Yeah. Just kind of frustrated me, or like it never brought me to like super anger. You always see those like videos, those reaction videos and stuff about, people like smashing their TVs and stuff. Right? Yeah. But like it's more for me, it's always kind of like just kind of frustration in terms of I wanted to see them win, because if they won, then I would have been able to see them play in like the Super Bowl, thinking like that, like the 2014 NFC Championship game against the Seahawks, and they blew that lead. Like that was frustrating. That after that game I think that was one of the times I just felt like, God, there was a moment, where it was like, they're gonna be playing in the Super Bowl. Like, they're gonna win this game. This is crazy. And then obviously it didn't go that way, and it was just like, it was the perfect storm of things, right, that happened to make it, not be that way. And it was just so in that case, you're just looking at like, if only like this one thing would have gone differently. Yeah. Because it was literally the perfect storm of things. But like that was the only time where I was just like, God, I just, like kind of ruined. I mean, it was the evening kind of. It was a late afternoon game, but yeah, I think it was like I don't think I watched the Super Bowl that year.
That's the thing, is
I just didn't care to watch it anymore. It wasn't necessarily that I hated it or anything. I was just like, you know what? I don't really care.
Yeah. Football's like my big, like my main sport that I watch. And that I surprisingly, like I said, I'll flip over to other games and it's like whatever team is playing whatever. And like fantasy football helps me get more interested in what other teams are doing. Yeah. But like there's been years where I just haven't watched a Super Bowl. I've only tuned in for a little bit. It's just like, I'm just not. I'm just not all that interested.
Yeah.
But
It happens.
in like NFC Championship games, like the Falcons when we played them.
Yeah.
That,
I mean, there was no reason that we should have even been there. Like that team.
I know.
Like the fact that we even got that far, I was like, what is going on?
What am I doing?
The fact that we got, like, I was hoping it would be a closer game than that, but like it really didn't surprise me. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But I'll tell you what, that next game or the Super Bowl, oh my God, I was so happy about that. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the Patriots, and I can't say
they win.
Right. Yeah, you always
they're in it so often.
Right. But like, I mean, I'm not really a big fan of the Patriots either, but yeah, like they win a lot and I respect them for it. But it was so funny because like it was just like the Packers are kind of part of that group, right? They've been a very successful franchise recently and people are kind of sick of it. Or sick of them winning, even though they obviously haven't won as many as the Patriots, but they're still right there all the time usually.
Yeah.
And so there's almost like that bond, that evil bond kind of that we have with the Patriots.
Right.
And so to have the Falcons, who have never won a Super Bowl before, being up 28-3 or something like that.
Oh my God, to blow that lead.
And yeah, and they blow it. And not only that, but it actually happened because of a bunch of great plays by some Wisconsin boys.
You gotta love those Wisconsin boys.
Some University of Wisconsin Badger alumni. Yeah, to see them come back and just absolutely like rip the hearts out of the Falcons. Like, I don't really have anything against the Falcons, but that was kind of fun to see.
Yeah.
Like, I do like underdog stories, but I also like stories where just everything gets taken away.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta.
I have a little bit of an evil side to me, I think.
Oh, as do we all.
It really comes from being a fan of both the Packers and the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
I've embraced like the evil empire. I'm essentially a Sith Lord. That's what I'm trying to say right now.
I mean, one of the things, speaking of like being a bandwagon fan, is I was like never into hockey ever. Like, never watched hockey, and like you and a couple other people are like the people that got me into it at all. And because you like the Blackhawks, I'm like, oh, sweet, Blackhawks, here we go. I mean, that and proximity. Right.
Proximity is what did it for me because we don't have a professional hockey team in Wisconsin. If we ever got, it's never going to happen, but if it did, like if Milwaukee got a professional hockey team, I would probably switch allegiances to the new team.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still have a soft spot for the Blackhawks, but like I would go for the Wisconsin team. Like I would.
Yeah. If
I would be a fan of that. Like that's. I mean, that's the only reason I'm really a fan of the Blackhawks is because of proximity. They're closest team, and I mean, I had relatives that grew up in the Illinois, Chicagoland area, so it's not like that area is completely
foreign to you.
Yeah. I mean, my parents kind of met in Illinois and stuff, so it's like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably switch. Like I would support the local team.
Yeah, I definitely I don't follow hockey enough to not like it. It's cool to support the local team. It's especially if you have the opportunity to go because you're so much closer too, right?
Yeah. For sure. The only problem is, so like I'm gonna be going to a game in I think probably like 2 weeks. Which speaking of NHL and hockey, today's actually the first slate of games that matter.
Oh, really?
So yeah, the regular season has officially started.
I feel like it just ended.
I feel like it ended a long time ago. It's been a long off season. I mean, it ended in June, but that just seemed like forever ago to me.
Oh man.
But
yeah, I guess you're right. Like it.
I mean, I've been playing hockey throughout the summer.
Oh yeah, you've
but
been hockeying it up.
Yeah, I've been swinging that hockey bat.
Yeah, and whenever I'm not, throwing the football to some more talented person who then throws the football to another more talented person. Football's on TV, right? Like the sport that I play. So like I'm just football year round.
Right. It's yeah. The only bad thing about hockey in the NHL compared to like say the NFL and football is like it's not really broadcasted on local TV stations.
Yeah.
There's like a rare game, like basically the only time you can watch it on a local station is like a Sunday noon game or whatever. They'll have it on like NBC. And that's about it. Like that's all you get, which sucks, but.
And so as like a true hockey fan, right? Like someone like yourself, you kind of have to pay extra, right? Or something to be able to watch games for.
Yeah. I have the NHL like package, NHL.TV package or whatever. That's completely separate from like a cable package, but
right.
It's similar to like MLB.TV, but it you know what sucks though about it is there's still blackouts, which are absolutely the worst. Being an out of market, technically I'm out of market for the Blackhawks, which is fine. So I get to watch like pretty much all their games, except that the Blackhawks are the most nationally televised team in the league, even though they were terrible last year. They still have the most nationally televised games this year.
Yeah.
Which means there's going to be 19 games this season, essentially a quarter of this season, that are going to be blacked out.
That sucks.
So then I have to use the internet to find a game.
The old internet machine.
Yeah. So it's and the thing is, the most ridiculous thing about this, or there's two most ridiculous things. Ridiculous thing number one is
first.
I am in the market for the Minnesota Wild, even though I am closer to Chicago than we are to Minneapolis, where the Wild
Who
play.
decides these things?
Because the Wild get televised on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And we get that. We get that channel on cable here. That's why we're technically in the market. We're blacked out for Wild games.
It's all about the money.
It is, and it's so dumb. It's an archaic rule.
Huh.
But then most ridiculous thing about this number two is, so like I mentioned, the Blackhawks had a really kind of bad year last year, but they're still televised or nationally televised 19 times this year. You have the New Jersey Devils, who have the league MVP on their team and made the playoffs last year. They're nationally televised twice this year, which means if you are an out of market New Jersey Devils fan, and you're paying for NHL TV, you are paying the same price as me for that package, but I get to see my favorite team 17 less times, but I'm paying the same price as a New Jersey Devils fan.
Jeez.
It's insane. It's blackout rules are just absolutely insane. Anti-consumer crap.
Yeah. And a fairly similar thing to that is like being able to see NFL games in good quality, whatever NFL games you want, right? Like in good quality, other than over the air, right? Because over the air can be sketchy. Like for me, depending on whatever I'm doing, it's like one channel or another that I can be on can be just terrible, and it can like kind of ruin watching the game. And when I lived down in Racine, reception was even worse. And there's like no good way other than having like cable than to get like a solid stream of the game, or buying something like NFL Sunday Ticket, right? And so I went out of my way to get the international version of NFL Game Pass.
Yeah, like you essentially got to use a VPN.
Yeah, because the NFL Game Pass in the U.S., when I first got it, was just the broadcast. So you could just listen to like the broadcast of any game live, and then you could watch replays of games.
I remember that because I had that too for I think one season.
Yeah, and then you can watch like Red Zone and NFL Network all the time. And that's fine. But like the whole point was that I wanted to be able to watch reliably, Packers games somewhere, wherever I was.
Right.
And so you like you said, like I had a VPN. I got like a solid VPN, not like a free one.
Right. And you don't go free. If you're thinking about a VPN, do not go with a free VPN.
If your VPN is free, you're the product, and you are not safe from anything.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're using your VPN for.
Right.
But like you're definitely, you got to pay for it, and it's definitely worth the price. So yeah, I VPN'd over to the Netherlands or used my US address and credit card to pay for stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's fine."
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. And that's the other thing, right? Like the garbage thing is it's all about like money and the broadcasting rights and all that stuff. To be able to is the reason why I couldn't just get regular US Game Pass.
Right.
I had to pretend to be from somewhere else, but it's all facade because I clearly signed up with my US address.
Right.
And my like credit card and all this other. It's just like all that stupid crap, but it's just one of those things. In order to get all the games live all the time, no blackouts, no anything, and reliable quality and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I forgot to add this because you brought it up too, is I also can't get the playoffs. Oh. Because those are nationally televised and therefore blacked out.
Oh,
unless I do a VPN. Go through, the Dutch or whatever. I pretend to be a little Dutch.
Yeah.
A little Dutch boy.
Sometimes you got to be a little Dutch boy to be able to watch your sports.
So if I'm a little Dutch boy, I can watch the Blackhawks whenever, wherever I want, and the playoffs. Doesn't matter if they're nationally televised or anything. Doesn't even matter where I am.
Yeah.
I can watch all of it. But if I'm American, talk about freedom.
You're not free.
I get blacked out.
Yep. And that's a shame. These guys.
It brings a tear to my heart.
We're not young children looking up to anyone at this point anymore. But
don't meet your heroes, kids.
If we were, we'd just be sadly disappointed kids, And that's just, will someone think of the children?
Somebody think of the children. Like you'd think these leagues would be all about trying to grow their game, for the next generation, because that's going to give you long-term success as a league. That is just the most insane thing. That's not even sports. That's just business in general. Yeah. It's the most insane thing to me is the lack of long-term outlook.
Like, just make it easy. Make it easy for everyone and hook people in. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so dumb.
It's why Google has like 95% of my life information because they make it so easy, and they have so many different products. It's just and they're in it. Google's a search engine. They started as a search engine, right? And it's like they do now. I use them to keep my notes and to do all sorts of stuff that has them as a search engine would have had no business. And they're just like, oh yeah, let's do this and do that. I'm like, my phone is from Google, so that they can serve me more Google stuff.
Right. All their stuff to gather all that information, everything was free.
Yeah.
Like there's no barrier to entry to, getting a Gmail account or whatever,
Yeah, and I get like as a league to like be sustainable and all the other stuff, like you have to make some money, right?
Well, but
you gotta like let's be honest, the league's not hurting for money.
Oh no,
like no,
right.
The league's not, the individual teams aren't, players hurting for. I don't.
I'll tell you what. I think out of all the sports, though, I think hockey's probably the least profitable.
Is it?
In terms of, I feel like the teams are. There's probably a good chunk of teams that aren't profitable in the NHL, but because of revenue sharing and everything, the big markets kind of carry it. Because there's just so much, and it's one of the kind of the things about hockey in general is there's such a barrier to entry with the sport. It's so expensive to to get ice time and everything. Growing up, it's not like soccer or basketball or where you just need a ball and you can play. Like hockey, you need equipment, you need ice time, and none of that is cheap.
Oh yeah.
And the maintenance costs for these facilities and everything, like hockey, it costs a bit.
I could only imagine to maintain. I'd like to have be good enough to play on for if you're using natural grass and stuff, right? Like for soccer and football and rugby and baseball and everything, all those grass field sports, you just have to be able to take care of grass pretty well, and that's normally not. I can only imagine how much it costs to be able to be like, I need an ice rink.
Oh yeah, it's an insane cost.
Ice rink solid all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the thing is, like all these owners of the franchises, like the professional sports franchise isn't their only thing. Like they're making their money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like another business or another couple businesses or something. And sports is kind of just like their hobby kind of thing. It's like, ooh, yeah, I'm a professional sports team owner, It's more of a like just a kind of a status thing, right?
Oh yeah, like if I ever had a ridiculous amount of money, would I like try and be part owner of a sports team? Sure, maybe.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Because it's kind of neat, right?
It is kind of neat. How neat is that?
I own this. I own part of this, and I just get like courtside seats.
Right, exactly. Look at me.
Or like, oh yeah, by the way, I just own some of the team.
Right. Because it's entertainment, it's fun, it's you want to be part of it.
Yeah. That's like the main thing, right? It's like it's all about entertainment. It's about entertaining people, and like we said, unfortunately, money and profit gets in the way of some of that for some people to be able to enjoy some things.
Yeah.
But I think like the best thing about sports is seeing, no matter what sport you're watching, people that are at the top of their game that are just ridiculous. Like I'm not super into baseball.
No, but it's a good time to be a baseball fan right now.
But it's a hell of a good time to be a Brewers fan right now, right?
For sure.
And
Speaking of like sticking with a team through thick and thin.
Right.
Now it's paying off. It's paying off.
Not so great. Yeah. And I'm excited, right? Because
everyone's excited.
I recently have been like, okay, I will be at least partially invested in the Brewers. I don't get everything about the sport, and I'm not like completely into all the stats and stuff, but I can enjoy going to a game. I can enjoy watching a game on TV. We had the game on at the office the other day.
Yeah, we did too. It was a slow day at work.
Exactly, and so that's one of the cool things about being a fan, right? Is like doing it with other people, and
that's what it's about. It's the social aspect of it.
And like even the people at the office who aren't that into baseball, and like I'm not super into baseball, I'm one of them, and like I watched some of the game. I'd pop in and see some of it, and it's just cool to have people be excited and to be part of a group. And there's like a commercial where
a commercial, you say?
Yeah. Speaking of making money for sports, there's a commercial where basically everyone in the commercial is saying "Go Pack Go" to everyone else.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you've seen this one
for sure.
And my friends and I were talking about this the other day, and it's like, I don't know if I'm assuming there probably is. Like, I'm not cocky enough to think that we're the only people that have something like that, but it's kind of fun, and it's so interesting that it's kind of true, because I've been out. The commercial, the whole idea of the commercials, there's just a bunch of people, just random people, seemingly passing by, and they realize or recognize that they're both Packers, and so they say "Go Pack Go," and that's the whole idea of it, and that kind of embodies the whole idea of like being a fan, and it gives you a connection to other people you don't have a connection to. And I've literally lived that. I've literally been in a grocery store on game day, like going to grab beer or snacks or something before a game starts, and I'm wearing a jersey or a shirt, and I've said "Go Pack Go" to someone, or someone said it to me.
Yeah.
And it's a super interesting thing, and I don't know if other teams, have a phrase or a slogan or a thing they would say, but
they do.
At minimum, right? Like, I'm
sure they do.
At minimum, you recognize that someone else is a fan, and that gives you a bond to some complete stranger.
Yeah, it's at a a grander scheme. It's the same thing as the Olympics.
Yeah,
every 4 or 2 years, I guess. People who couldn't care less about curling are now like engulfed with it.
Oh gosh,
right?
I've seen some of the biggest curling fans ever.
I know, but like but during that time, like when the Olympics are going on, the other 4 years you could care less about who's winning the 110-meter hurdles races, right? Who's winning the beach volleyball matches? Like nobody cares except for those weeks, right? And everybody in society is just kind of going around and saying USA, USA. It's like you just get a bond with it.
Yeah.
And then after that's over, you just kind of go back to not caring anymore. So you could either the Olympics come on and you can be like, whatever, sports ball stuff I don't care about, or you could just kind of join in the fun and be like, let's go USA.
Yeah, and that's it, right? Like you become a fan again, like a bandwagon fan of curling.
Yeah,
right, for a week, or a bandwagon fan of whatever that thing is where they ski and shoot.
Is it? I don't want to say it's not triathlon. It's not. Is it It's not decathlon. It's like it's something along those lines though.
Skiing and biathlon?
Is it biathlon? Or cross country skiing and shooting a rifle? Yeah, that is insane because you got to be able to just you got to slow your.
That was gonna be a thing.
What? Oh, yeah, I don't know, but it had to have gotten its roots way long time ago in some Nordic country where they're cross country ski or they're skiing, to get around from place to place. And then all of a sudden, like, a bear comes out, and they gotta be like, oh, crap. You gotta shoot him, and then it's like, oh, we can turn this into a sport.
And I'm sure that's funny, like, how, as kids, and, like, even now, you just make up games. Like, people just make up random.
Oh
things.
yeah, we did that all the time as kids.
Yeah, like you're just like, oh well, I'm gonna like my nephew does it all the time. We'll be playing something, and he'll say, okay, well actually, this is how you do this, and this is how you score, and then the game just evolves as you go.
Yeah, it's like basketball.
Exactly. And it's like now it's just a sport, and that's funny and awesome at the same time. And someone is a fan of whoever's really good at the biathlon.
Well, I think we should kind of cut it there. We have there's so much more we could talk about.
Oh yeah.
And we'll definitely do another sports ball episode.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of sports to go on.
I mean, this was a pretty long episode in itself.
Yeah.
We could go on and on, but we're gonna cut it short. Or
yeah, we gotta cut it.
Long, short.
Cut it
short, long.
Short, long.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Binary Brothers Podcast. We can't wait for you to tune in next time. But until then, make sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, and BinaryBrothersPodcast.com.